He thought he was just helping a blind woman cross the street, but he had no idea that moment would hand him something that would change his future forever. Have you ever felt like you were alive yet? No one really saw you. Every day on repeat, sending out dozens of job applications only to get back cold rejections. Slowly, you start to wonder, does your worth even exist in anyone's eyes anymore? Jason Miller felt the same way, until one gray, rainy afternoon at the corner of 5th and Main, where he stood between two choices, step forward to help or turn away and keep walking. He didn't know that choice would open the door to a destiny he never saw coming. The first winter rain fell in a light drizzle, the dim yellow glow of the streetlights spilling across the water-streaked sidewalk. Jason Miller, a man in his mid-30s, stood waiting for the red light to change. Another long day had closed with disappointment, yet another job rejection email. Clack, clack, clack. The steady tapping drew closer. An elderly woman holding a white cane stopped beside him. Her coat was old but well kept, a few mismatched buttons sewn in place. She tilted her head slightly, listening to the cars rushing past, her lips pressed together in concentration. Jason glanced around. No one else stopped. A fleeting thought crossed his mind. Someone will help her. But then his feet carried him forward. "Ma'am, may I help you across the street?" She smiled, a warmth in her expression deeper than anything Jason had felt in months. "That would be wonderful. It's been a long time since I've trusted anyone at the crosswalk." They moved slowly. Jason stepped between her and the street, shielding her from the splash of a passing car. On the other side, she didn't let go of his hand right away. "You walk carefully, like someone who's had to watch the ground more than most." Jason gave a faint smile. "Maybe so. Lately, I don't have much room for mistakes." She listened quietly, then pulled a small envelope from her pocket. "Take this. Think of it as a thank you, and a step toward where you need to be." Before he could ask anything, she had already turned away, the rhythmic tap of her cane fading into the distance. Inside the small diner, Jason opened the envelope. Inside was a business card, Eleanor Whitmore, President Whitmore Foundation. Beneath it, in neat handwriting, "Come see me. Ask for me by name." Jason froze. The name rang a bell. He was sure he'd seen it in the news before, a billionaire philanthropist. Half doubtful, half curious, he hesitated. But the thought of falling back into yesterday's meaningless loop pushed him to decide to try just this once. The Whitmore Foundation offices occupied the top floor of a glass tower. Jason was led into a warm room filled with books and photographs. Eleanor sat there, no cane, none of the frailty from the day before, yet her clouded eyes still seemed to see straight through him. "You came. Good." She told him that when he helped her, he hadn't known who she was, and he hadn't hesitated. "That says more about you than any resume ever could. I want to invite you into our community program. It's not glamorous, but it will change lives, and maybe yours." Jason's voice caught. I don't know what to say. Say yes, and one day do the same for someone else." In the months that followed, Jason threw himself into the work, helping children find safe places to learn, supporting veterans in their job searches, listening to the stories of people who had once felt as hopeless as he had. Whenever he thought back to that rainy moment, a quiet warmth filled him. One afternoon, at the very same intersection, Jason spotted a young boy struggling with a bag about to tear open. He stepped forward. "Need a hand." The boy smiled, and Jason realized the circle of kindness was still turning. The rain was falling lightly again. Jason stood at the crosswalk smiling as he reached out his hand to a stranger. Kindness is never small. One hand offered today could change someone's life forever.